Shabbat Shalom. We begin
Shabbat Shalom.
with We Return, and you can find the lyrics in your supplement. Please sing with us.
We so wonderful to be led this Shabbat by Joyce Liu and our Cantor Pamela Siskin Memorial Choir. Thank you. I know that in March when we were planning the High Holidays, and yes, that's when we plan the High Holidays, I said, Joyce, please, Shabbat Shuvah, have the choir featured. So that is why that's not the only reason, but we're so glad that you're all leading us this evening. I wanted to let you all know where the emergency exits are in case we would need them. They're behind me, as well as in the back, as well as any doors out there will lead to the outside. Our restrooms are in the back hallway, and please make sure that your phones are on silent, because if God needs you, he will certainly find a way to get you. Why am I going through all of this? Because there are 8 new people here, and I know you think it's crazy that I know every week how many new people, but that is how many are here. So welcome if you are visiting us for the first time. I can tell you already it's not going to be the last time. This is a very genuine place, and once you meet Judy Churchak, you're ours. So this is Judy in the front row. You probably already met her, frankly. I want to thank our St. Pete police officer for being here. She allows us to be able to be here. I want to go ahead and thank Gary Thompson. I don't know if he can hear us, but Gary makes sure everything is perfect, from our candles to the bima to the challah to the pickle tray we have today, because we had requests for savory, not just sweet. So he makes sure everything is great. And then I wanted to thank Andy Gauntz, who represented our board tonight as our greeter, but also to Meredith and Noah for lending him to us. Noah's getting ready for camp. He just doesn't know it yet. So we're going to get him to Camp Coleman, right, Riven? We're going to work on Noah, getting him to camp. So, and his mom, Jamie. All right, so we are going to continue on page 8. I'm going to invite you to please join me in this prayer. We seldom do this prayer, but I was looking at it and I thought, how apropos. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created, and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, and to bring that vision of life. So this evening, no matter what your intention was with coming into this sanctuary, I'm glad that you did come. I'm glad that we can all sit together, and as we sit together with probably 1,000 different reasons to be here, I hope that everyone can find something that they can connect to, whether it's music or liturgy or the person next to them, because everyone here tonight is here for a purpose. We're going to continue by inviting up Howard Pinsker and Susan Kennel in honor of their birthdays to lead us in the lighting of Shabbat candles. You can find this blessing in your prayer book on page 2, and then they're going to stay up here and lead us in Kiddush on page 5. 1984 grape juice. Delicious. Good vintage. We continue now on page 20 with the singing of Lecha Dodi. Continue now on page 28 with our call to worship, the Baruch Hu. You may be seated. So I realized I've said it about 100 times and never explained it. Shabbat Shuvah is the Shabbat in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. We are in what's called the Yamim Noraim, the 10 days of awe, the 10 days really of liminality. And we talk about liminality all the time. I talk about it all the time. It's this space in between. The next prayer is describing the space in between day and night. And the English word most usually used is twilight, right? It's still a little night and it's still a little bit day. So I was researching Rabbi Facebook today and found a quote that I love, and I love it every year, and I don't know who to cite for it, but I think that maybe you've seen it as well. It says, while it's important to act properly between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, it's perhaps more important to act properly between Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. Right? Every time it gets me. I know what it's going to say, and every single time it gets me. But these 10 days, I mean, we just celebrated the birth of the world. I get it. It's a huge deal. But I feel like when we say birth of the world, it's really pshat. It's really a basic level. It's not just the birth of the world. We celebrate a beginning, but a beginning where something else had to end prior. You know, at Tashlich, we tried to let go of what we could let go of, right? We're not beginning with a clean slate. I wish so many times in life we could just have a genuine clean slate. I just don't know that that's possible, not with relationship, not when you are engaging in real life. And so I think about these 10 days as almost the transitional time between celebrating and really wanting to let go of, and then kind of coming to terms with some of the stuff we're going to have to wrestle with. We're going to have to keep wrestling with. And we get to Yom Kippur, and we're not saying sorry to God. We're really acknowledging other human beings that we have to interact with, right? We're not given the opportunity to just withdraw and not interact with people. We're told as part of a community, we must continue to grow our bonds together. So in these 10 days, it's really up to us to decide what to do with them. Torah doesn't say do this, do this, do this, although I'm sure plenty of rabbis do. What I think Torah guides us to do is to sit in the discomfort between what we really can let go of and what we have to hold on to and deal with. Think about it for a sec. Nobody has to raise their hand. What are you just dealing with? Last year at this time, what stuff did you think you let go of that you're still kind of holding? And maybe the year before, and maybe 10 years before. I'm worried, and I want to give each of us permission, including myself, that even some of those things we're hanging on to for years on end that we really, really want to let go of, we can't let go of it till we're ready. But I pray this year, and in these Yamim Noraim, it becomes obvious when something's ready to let go of, even a little bit of it. You know, I saw people at Tashlich taking crumbs, right? Tashlich is when we throw the bread in the water. And I saw some people, like my son, flinging a piece of bread into the water, okay, like a whole frisbee. But I saw a lot of older congregants, and I don't think it necessarily has to do with age, although I do think wisdom sometimes goes with the longer that you're on earth. Take smaller pieces, take one piece of bread and make it into multiple things to throw into the water. And I thought, you know what, that's more real. That's more practical. Maybe we can take bites out of the things that we're trying to let go of when we can't just take the whole thing and get rid of it. So let's take these next 10 days, even if you just take the next hour, to think about how can we take a step, because sometimes we can't just get to the top of the mountain. Sometimes we can't just get there, and sometimes it does take us a long time. And you know, how many of us actually are on lifelong journeys where we may never let go of something? But I pray each year that we can let a little bit of it go at a time so that we're that much more light, or that we have that much more space for something new to come into our lives. So as we move into the Shema on pages 34 and 35, I often will ask you to take a breath. I won't make you exhale in a funny way, although that's my favorite. Just take a deep breath. Find yourself a little bit lighter, a little more space. In one way, I feel like we're half done with the holidays, and in another, I feel like we've taken only one step, and we have a whole year to come together and grow. So when you're ready, I invite you to please rise as we join in the words of the Shema. We'll transition directly into the Ve'ahavta, and I'll ask for you to remain standing if that's your custom.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha. Page 36. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha veshinantam levanecha vedibarta ba'am beshivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot ayadecha ve'hayu litotafot beineinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai vehitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. You may be seated. We turn in our prayer books to page 40 for the singing of Micha Mocha. Page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts. Then we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, Hapurei Sukkot Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue on page 44 with the singing of Yismachu.
Yismechu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'koreh onei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'koreh onei Shabbat. Mekadeshei, mekadeshei shevi Shabbat. Kulam yismehu v'yitaku v'tu v'hashabbat. Yismehu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'koreh onei Shabbat. Yismehu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'koreh onei Shabbat. Uvashvi ratzita bo v'kiddushto Shabbat. Chemdat yamim oto kaharata Shabbat. Yismehu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'koreh onei Shabbat. Yismehu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'koreh onei Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh v'rishei Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh v'rishei Shabbat. Yismehu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'koreh onei Shabbat. Yismehu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'koreh onei Shabbat.
Cha-cha-cha. That's what I was waiting for. Cha-cha-cha. As we move into the Amidah, beginning on page 46, we are at the point of the year where every insertion that says Shabbat Shuvah is tonight. So nobody go on autopilot, because then you'll be in a whole different place than us. So I invite you to please rise if you're able. We turn to page 46.
Adonai
Sefatai tivtachu fi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot V'imaot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Zochreinu Lechaim, Melech Hafetz B'Chaim, V'chotvenu Besefer HaChaim, Lemancha Elohim Chaim. Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav LeHoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofech oholim. Umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato. Lishene afar. Michamocha ba'al gevurot. Umidom elach. Melech meimit umechaye. Umatmiach Yeshua. Michamocha avarachamim. Zocher yitzurav lechayim berachamim. V'ne'emanata lechayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh. Ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai hamelech hakadosh. You may be seated.
As we move through the Amidah, I invite us to read on the top of page 55 together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. We continue now on page 56, or 58. Let's go to 58. Good job, you already got through 56. As we arrive at our moments of gratitude. And so I hope that you are full of gratitude, but if you'd like to share it with all of us in this space, it allows us to get a little glimpse into your inner world, but also reminds us that there's a lot to be grateful for. So if you have it, yes, please.
I'm grateful that I came to Erev Shuvah. It was a beautiful service, but your sermon was so inspiring to us. There were a lot of wonderful things, but our big takeaway was to quote someone else. When they go low, you go high. And on Rosh Hashanah Day, we started being challenged with an ongoing situation involving other people to the hill. So we're working the program.
So thank you for sharing all that. I repeat so that everyone who's on live stream can hear what's going on as well. So you shared that you were grateful you were here Erev Rosh Hashanah, and I'm glad that you were here Erev Rosh Hashanah, and you paraphrased Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high, absolutely. And then she shared that on Rosh Hashanah morning that we started being faced with the opportunity to go high and to really have to work the program, as she said. Yeah. I never repeat the compliments. We could talk to my therapist about it, but I never repeat the compliments. She said that my sermon was very good. I appreciate that. Yeah, Juniper, did you want to share? Sure.
I'm grateful that my dog hasn't peed in front of my bedroom door.
Thank God. Thank God. Yes, that the dog is being trained to not pee in front of the bedroom door. We have all been there. All of us, Alice. Yes. Yeah. Arlie.
As I grapple with the high holy days and their beauty and their meaning, I am just so grateful to have the privilege of being Jewish.
Awesome. So Arlie shared that as they grapple with the high holidays, that they're very happy to just have the privilege to be Jewish. Absolutely. Yes, please, Alice.
So I shared this with you, but yesterday I was able to connect with one of my students over their duties. They're like, "You're Jewish? You're Jewish?"
Yeah, so I got this text yesterday. I was so excited that you shared that one of your students was talking to you, and then it came out that you missed school because of the holidays. And then they said, oh my God, you're Jewish also. And I was thinking about, I had a sermon, I don't know if it was Rosh Hashanah or the week prior, where I said, Jewish geography really connects us in a lot of ways. That just sometimes knowing someone else is Jewish is a unifier, and how important that is. And I can imagine for this kid, that must have really been a great moment for them. Absolutely. Yeah? Are you guys going? Of course. So safe travels to Chicago, and mazel tov on your nephew getting married. Oh, I should watch my job. Good luck. Mike's not laughing. Good luck with that. Yes, Gideon. Awesome. So Gideon shared that his aunt, Cantor Rosalie Will, is going to be installed November 28th in Chicago, and that's where the other Rabbi Torups will be. But that when Gideon walked in the sanctuary, he said to me, I'm blown away, you have to go hear Joyce singing the Shema Kolenu, and he told me all about it, and I loved it, Gid. I loved how happy it made you to hear it. So thank you, Joyce, for sharing your beautiful voice with us. Yeah, Dahlia. Dahlia is grateful for good health. Without that, we have nothing. Thank you. Yeah, Meredith.
I'm grateful to have known the synagogue where my husband didn't grow up Jewish feels just as welcome as I do.
I love that, Meredith. Meredith shared that she's grateful that her husband, who didn't grow up Jewish, can feel as good as she does at this synagogue. Yeah, we're glad to have both of you. Please, and Noah, the whole crew. I saw someone back here. I just don't know who it was. I'm sorry, Rivs. Yeah, Riven. I love it. Riven's grateful his mom brought him here today. Oh, amen. Yes. Do you have another one? Please share, Juniper.
I'm grateful that I went to the Jewish Student Union today at my school because it's a club day and we have a club. And I wasn't planning on going, but my friend was going, and my club got canceled because there was only going to be me there. And so I went anyway, so that was fun.
That's a huge deal. So Juniper shared that that they went to the club at their school, the Jewish Student Union, and that although she wasn't planning on going, that you went. And that's very brave and very bold. And I love that you did that.
And Candy for making a better vision board.
Oh, who said last week they were making a vision board? Oh, the Bauman said they make a vision board every Rosh Hashanah. Yes. So last night, I'm grateful. Last night, Ezra, who's learning to play piano a lot faster than I think I've ever learned anything, asked me to pull out my Shirenu, which is the Jewish songbook of which he tries to never play Jewish music. And he asked me to take my guitar, and we sang together, which was, for me, I mean, I just got chills again. Like, that's really what I wanted that in a kid. Someone who would love what I love. And he doesn't love what I love. He loves his own stuff. But to be able to share what I love with him was a true gift. So I'm so excited. And I know he's watching in my office. So that's also very nice. Yep. Oh, also, so we're getting texts in, guys. Hold on. So Sherry Stupp, who lives in Fort Lauderdale but was here for the high holidays. You know Linda, who sits up front, Linda and Elaine. This is Elaine's daughter. She says she has lots to be grateful for, especially live streaming. That is true. That is true. I know you speak for a lot of people in that. We have a lot to be grateful for. And whether you shared it out loud or you shared it in your heart or with someone else, it's all holy because prayer really is gratitude. And so on the bottom of page 59, we join together in Hebrew Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lechodot. Amen. We turn our thoughts now to those who are in need of healing, those in this world, those in our lives, those in this sanctuary. Not just physical healing, sometimes it's emotional healing or spiritual healing. Jewish or not Jewish, we all deserve to be whole, whatever that looks like. And so we think of the following individuals, and I'll ask you to add any names you have in a moment. This week, we think of Richard Damashek, Sarah Gastman, Terry Gilner, Elliot Scher, Tzvi Dov ben Benjamin Vishendel, Michael Buchholz, Jordana Fuller, Goran Kissick, James Olaf, Stan Silverberg, Marcia Turkin, and Matthew Sternberg Yee. If you have any names that you'd like to add, I invite you to do so as my hand passes where you're seated. It's going to overlap with other names, but be sure to say them if you'd like to say them out loud. For all those names said out loud and in our hearts, we join in the inside cover, back cover of our prayer books with the singing of Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, our prayer, our prayer, our prayer, our prayer, our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. Bless us with a vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Misha Berach Avotenu, Misha Berach Imotenu, hear our prayer, 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 bless us as well. Hear our prayer, 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 bless us as well.
We take some time now to close our prayer books and pray the words of our hearts. We'll join together after silent meditation with our choir on page 343. our cantor Pamela Siskin Memorial Choir, thank you. You may be seated. Doesn't look like they want to be seated. Right, Eli's after, right, Joyce? So go with me, please. You usually do, and I have the mic, so you can't go much else. This week's Torah portion is Vayelach, and I spoke about it this morning. And within this Torah portion, something sat with me a little bit differently, and I wanted to bring it to you. There's a point where God says to Moses, bring Joshua into the tent of meeting. I'm going to pause for a second. Moses dies today. Okay, he's 120 years old. He says, I'm not going to cross the Jordan with you. And so he says to Moses, God, bring Joshua, who's going to follow Moses' leadership, bring him into the tent of meeting. So the tent of meeting is a very sacred place, and it's where they get to speak to God directly. And God says, listen, the Jews are going to be tempted by a lot of other gods, a lot of other people. And if they stray, I'm going to hide myself from them. So what I want you to do, and this is so interesting because here's God as a problem solver, I see, or as a strategist. God says, I want you to put into song or poem, however you translate the Hebrew, that they need to remember to follow me. And so hopefully then they'll remember the song, they'll remember the poem, and they will continue to follow my ways, and I won't turn my back on them. So I was thinking about mnemonic devices. How many of you grew up using a mnemonic device for anything? So tell me, what did you learn from your mnemonic device? Every good boy deserves fudge, EGBDF, right, in music. What else? Okay, Roy G. Biv, yes, Red, Yellow, that's the Rainbow Song. Ann, what'd you say? What is that? What is it? Oh, okay, that one's a little less helpful to me in St. Pete, but okay, those are the local stations where she's from. Yes, what did you learn? Yeah?
Never eat soggy walk.
I do that one too. North, south, east, west. Yeah, Jamie.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
What is that?
For operation.
Oh, PEMDAT. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rebecca? SMHEO. What is that? Are those the Great Lakes? Huron? Oh, please, I'm from Detroit. Yeah, okay. I like that one way better. They don't teach us that in Detroit. Yes? What's that one? What you see is what you get. Okay, anyone else? Guys, I can guarantee for the most part, none of you learned those today. I mean, I just learned a bunch of those today, but the ones that remembered it have held them for a long time, right? Ed, you know I'm about to go off the text. You know that I'm going somewhere else. I know, every single time. So in rabbinical school, which for some reason this high holidays has been very, very dominant and prominent in my mind. That year was a lot in Israel and then the 4 in Los Angeles. We had to learn all the Torah portions in order for all the books. Okay, maybe you're great with memory. I am not, although with names I do pretty well. So what I did was I put together a little cheat sheet for all of us, because this is the cheat sheet that I pulled up from 2004. What we did, my chavruta and I, so you usually have a study partner, is we put each of the books of Torah to a nursery rhyme melody, and then we memorized the parshiot in order. Okay, so you probably haven't, Mike's already shaking his head, look for a new job. So I thought, I'm going to teach you the book of Bereshit, because why not, right? I'm a teacher, that is what rabbi means, and God said to Moses, teach them in a song. So you're just going to go with me tonight. So the nursery rhyme is Pop Goes the Weasel. So let's just run through that one time. How does that start? Oh, you know the words. Pop goes the weasel. Mazel tov. All right. So the first Torah portion within Bereshit is Bereshit, right? Every Torah book starts with the same name parsha. So it's Bereshit, Noah, Lech Lecha. We're just going to do the first 3, okay? Bereshit, Noah, Lech Lecha. You've got those 3? You know where I'm at? Bereshit is creation, Noah's the ark, Lech Lecha is go forth to a land I don't know you, okay? It's a good song. Vayerach Sarah. Okay, Vayerach Sarah. Kol hakavod. So we're going to go back to the beginning. Bereshit Noah Lech Lecha Vayerach Sarah. It's the first 5, guys. You're going to never have this on Jeopardy. All right, then this goes very fast here. I'm going to say it so you can hear the Hebrew. Toldot vayitse vayishlach vayishev. Okay, we're going to go slowly. Toldot vayitse vayishlach vayishev. And you can just sort of do those like LMNOP, where you just go fast through them. Unless it's someone's bar mitzvah, and then you really have to know those four. Okay, so Toldot vayitse vayishlach vayishev. Then this one's easy. Miketz vayigash vayichi. Miketz vayigash vayichi. You just did the entire first book. Do you know how great that is? We are now in almost December of the Torah, of what you just got. So we're going to try it one more time from the top. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Bereshit Noah lech lecha vayerach hayesara toldot vayitse vayishlach vayishev michetz vayigash vayichi. You feel good? No. Did you need to know that? I had to sit there and memorize this, right? So then we have Twinkle, Twinkle, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Jingle Bells made an appearance. I thought it was maybe written by a Jew, and Itsy Bitsy Spider. So why do we learn things in song? Why mnemonic devices? Why alliterations? Why in song? What does it do for us? It helps what? It helps us remember. Guys, God knew what God was doing, right? How many times do you tell your kid, or any kid in your life, or your partner, frankly, 5 times for them to do something, right? So sometimes you guys are all pointing at each other. There's a lot of therapy sessions that are going on in the sanctuary right now, or should be going on. A lot of times we have to lean on skill sets that we develop to help us get to the next step in our lives, right? Joshua was freaked out. He was about to take the people of Israel into the promised land. Now, Joshua was chosen just like many of our prophets were chosen. God chose him. It wasn't I'm ready to do this. So it makes me think about some of the times in our lives where we are probably not ready to take that next step, or we don't think that we're ready to take that next step. And sometimes we can look back in our history and say, you know what, I've done hard before. I've done difficult before. You know, I read something else that said, congratulations, you have lived through every hardest day in your life so far. Right? Those days that you thought you were going to give up, they're behind us. You might have more in front of you. That's very real as a human being. But congratulations, Mazel Tov. Today you have lived through each one of those so far. So with God talking in this way to Moses and Joshua, part of me feels like God was speaking to their childlike self. Revert back to a song, to a poem. You know, think about your childhoods. Whether you had a parent that read you to sleep, or a kindergarten teacher that put you on the rug or the carpet and read, or I see smiles all over your faces. We have positive association with stories, with songs, with poetry. I don't think God was missing that when God said to Joshua and to Moses, put it in song for the people of Israel. I cannot imagine what it's like to go into a new land where they knew nothing. They prepped, they had wandered, they had gone from being slaves, or their parents were slaves, to wandering in the desert, to then creating a system of government, to then laws of which they're going to walk into this new land. And what are they going to find there? People, right? So my thought is that I think God was trying to say, bring them back home internally. Bring them to a place where they're open-hearted, where they're open-minded, where they're softer, so that they can approach the new not with fear, but with awe, with an open-heartedness of, maybe I can do this. I want you to think about a time recently, maybe, and you can fill in your own information here, where you said, I just want my mom, I just want my dad, I just want my pet, I just want my blankie, I just want something. I think God's reminding Joshua here to bring the people back to that moment. Because when fear fills us, it paralyzes us. But when awe fills us, it motivates us. It enthuses us. It allows us to take a step forward. Next week's Torah portion is this poem, is this song, not the one I just taught you, but the words that God has them say. This week, they're about to lose Moses. They're about to lose this person that literally has led their parents and themselves through the unknown. And so I think God gives them a gift through this song, through this poem, and reminds them, you are always my children. You are always with me. People will guide you on your path, but I am always the path. And so I pray this Shabbat, when we are walking through this liminal 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, that we too are reminded. We've got our parents at our side, our siblings, our pet, our blanket. We've got all of that. It's not just at our side, it's inside of us. But that overarching all of it is God. And whether you connect with what I call God or you just connect with something bigger than yourselves, we are not alone. And so I hope that this Shabbat, some song, some mnemonic device, some poem, some recipe, some smell, something in you breaks you out of feeling scared and paralyzed and shifts you into feeling motivated and full of awe. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue now with the choir again, with the singing of Eli Eli, this Chana Senesh poem, which we sang at Tashlich this last Wednesday. Sue says, I want to know the poem. Come next week, guys. I invite the choir to join me on the bima as we join in the words of Aleinu on page 282.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, latet gelula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kagoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot hadama, shelo samchalkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anaknu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech hakol ha'aretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and every nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. Still within the 30 days, the Shloshim of mourning, we think of Eddie Boino. Within the year, the yahrzeit, we think of the lives of Albert Divac, Francis Egalka, Brendan Elbaz, Julian Anker-Falk, Joseph Feist, Babette Fleischman, Ron Frankel, Jerry Horwitz, Audrey Kaminsky, Benjamin Catton, Matthew Katz, Shirley Konigsberg, Rachel Layton, Janice Leibowitz, Alice Lunsk, Louise McInnes, Gula Moses, Janet Newman, Anna Rosenberg, Abner Rosenblum, Lily Schumann, Annie Shamroth, Anita Scher, Martha Louise Starks, Bernice Suskind, Arthur Trock, Valerie Weinberg, and Isidore White. If I mispronounce your loved one's name, I'm sorry, I'll ask you to say it again, as well as any additional names of those who you're thinking of. We join our fellow congregants with torn hearts as we turn in our prayer books to page 294 and join in the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Leolam Olmeo Maya. Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzpoar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Brichu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories forever be a blessing and a lesson for how we can live our lives. And let us say Amen. You may be seated. I invite up Andy Gantz to offer some announcements. You can follow along in your Shabbat spotlight. And as Andy is making his way up here, I want to highlight that tomorrow morning you can join Joyce at 10 a.m. here for Music of the High Holidays, which is the second installment of our High Holiday boot camps, of which you don't get any thinner at the end of, but I tried, more knowledgeable. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, everybody. One thing I want to mention first, and this is selfish because I don't want to build the sukkah on my own. October 5th, Sunday, the congregation is building the sukkah from 9 to 12. Probably take us 2 hours with 10 people or 4 hours with 5. So if you guys could come out, send any able-bodied people you know, please. That'd be much appreciated. As everybody knows, and we have Yom Kippur services coming up on Wednesday, October 1st at 7, and then the morning service. There's a mini minyan that starts at 9 a.m., and mini minyan is 3 and under?
Mini minyan is third grade.
Third grade and under, thank you. And then the Yom Kippur service starts at 10 a.m. Our son will be sitting through his first Yom Kippur service this year, so we're excited about it. Thank you.
Bless you. Bless you too, but that was for the sneeze. We are going to conclude with Motzi and the singing of O Javo. I would love for Noah and Riven to come help me with Motzi up on the bima, and then the rest, if the choir could come forward, I invite the congregation to please rise.
You don't need your, just use your hands to clap and all that. Right? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom. All right, we're going to finish with Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Here we go.
Page 353.
Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu.
Ojavo Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kulam. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kulam. Salam. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. 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 Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. Salam. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kulam. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kulam. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, choir.
Thank you.